Good morning and welcome to Carnation Crafts. We're live in the Carnation Crafts TV studios, which is very exciting. It is a little bit cooler in here today, which is always nice. We have got the final show for the family Christmas launch that we've had this week. It's been incredibly busy. I think we might be close to a sellout at this point. And Mark and Nick and the amazing team at Carnation have been having some fun behind the scenes. So basically, because of some requests that you guys have put in, they decided to go forward with 3 new frames for the hellebore frame. So you've got these beautiful colorways coming through here. Please do get on and get them printed and done. This is going to give you so much more scope for your card making. It means you can take it loads further. You also get the insert pieces as well. So go and have a lovely, lovely time with those. Annie, good morning, Carla, from a very hot Bath. I do now know that Annie lives in Bath and that she is not actually in a bath, which is good to know because we don't want you in a very hot bath in this weather, Annie. Good morning, Christine. How you doing? All printed and ready for the postman. We like it, Annie. Make sure you get these ones printed as well because you're getting a lot more for your money. So with the free artwork that's coming through. Good morning, Carla, Taz, and everyone. Just printing out my vignettes while watching. Karen, I absolutely love it. Now, Friday is, generally speaking, composition day. So we look at how to comp these up. And I'm hoping we're going to get that still done at the end of today's show. What we're going to do is go through the boards fairly fast. I'm going to talk through the collection for you. And then I'm going to do one more demo on that manger scene so you can completely see how that comes together. A lot of you are getting it home today. A lot of you are going to be working with it over the weekend. So let's get that one done. Just to run you through the main collection, the number for it is 220634. It's on the Carnation Crafts website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Jane. And basically, all you need to do is go onto the Carnation Crafts website. It'll be on the front page anyway, I think. But just type in Family Christmas. All the stuff that you need will come up. You need to put it through in your basket. You need to go through checkout with it. You don't need to put any card details in it unless you want to buy something else. But if you are just downloading those vignettes, then absolutely you don't need your bank details there. If you're buying the collection, you obviously will do. The collection is broken up into different bundles so that it suits everybody's price frame. The main bundle itself, sorry Taz, I've just taken you back. The main bundle, the large bundle, and it incorporates every single item that you see here. And I believe yesterday we discovered that was 91 dies, which is massive. Was it 94? Thank you, Miss Taz. 94 dies, it's huge. So that's a show price of $199.99, but there is a 10% discount code for you. So when you go to checkout, remember to type in capital letters, I think, try both if it doesn't work, CCFC10, so Charlie Charlie Foxtrot Charlie 10, and that will give you a 10% discount off whatever you're buying today. Your P&P in the UK is absolutely free. You are also going to get, when you spend 25 quid or over on this collection, you're going to get a little Santa hat die, which I am very organised and I've got sitting here somewhere. I'll find it in a minute. Oh, I moved it this morning. I found it. You're going to get a little Santa hat die. You get one and then you get a free one, which is lovely. Oh, thank you, Miss Taz. So you're going to get 2 of them. Now, I will say we had some comments yesterday about it. People saying, I only got 1. You didn't, you got 2. It comes in 1 packet. You get 2 in 1 packet. So make sure you look and check. You should have 2 in your little packet. That's if you spend over £25. If you don't spend over £25, oh sorry, if you want to buy them separately is where I was going with that, you can get them for £4.95. I think, is it £4.95, Taz, for the 2? £4.95 for the 2. Hello to Sharon in Australia on YouTube there. So yeah, you can get them in that way. The other bundles that we've got, I'm going to need Taz's help on this because we have had presenters in all week, so I haven't been paying attention because it's me, so why would I? So we've got the Nativity collection. Thank you, Taz. The Nativity collection is just that beautiful frame, which is the manger, and then the characters that go with it. That's got a show price of $59.99. You'll receive 10% discount off that when you are using your code CCFC10. After that, Miss Taz, we have got the animals. So this is the Christmas Families collection. So it's all of the animals, the robins, the foxes, and the deers. They have a show price of $49.99. You'll then get your 10% discount on top of that. There's a lot of maths that's involved in that, and I don't know the maths, so I'm not even going to try. And then the last bundle is everything that you see, but it hasn't got the nativity manger or the nativity characters in it. So it's got everything else. So it's just kind of missing that religious aspect if that's not something that you want. And that is $159.99 free UK P&P. Now, what I will say at this point before I go any further with it is I think we are probably quite close to a sellout. If you're on the fence and you're thinking of putting it in your basket this morning, it's probably an idea to check out as soon as you can, because I don't know how many they've got left. Papers, perfect papers. Taz, have you got the energy to grab me some perfect papers? Yeah. Yay! So perfect papers are, sorry Taz.
I forgot I had to cut myself off.
Did you take your headphones off as well? Perfect papers are your perfect accompaniment to your collection. So they are colour picked from the artwork that is created in-house. And I'm going to go through the artwork with you in a little bit. Just thanks, Taz. These are your perfect papers. These are the colours of them. So you'll see we've got a pairing going on. There are 2 pinks, there are 2 greens, and there are 2 sort of creamy coloured ones. Sorry, Taz, do you want it there? Is that better? Look at those colours. So we've got the ones that go together. So you've obviously got your 2 greens, you've got your 2, but they all go together, and they are hand picked from the artwork that you get, the vignettes. So just to say, they cut beautifully. Look at these. I've got the little trees, the Scandi trees done in the greens. I am going to give a little shout out because I will be using it as well while you're on that website. That is a pack of gold papers, and they cut beautifully. But I will say I double-sided mine on the gold, and I did have to put it through my machine twice in order to get it cut right through, because we are now talking about a very heavy GSM. So if you're going to use those, please do make sure that you're putting it through your machine a couple of times just to make sure you get that compression. Your perfect papers on the website are $14.99. Your code for those is 220616. That is $2.95. We've got Sarah, who got hers yesterday on YouTube. Hello, lovely. And Linda, hello to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, so just to let you know, those perfect papers, $2.95. If you're buying outside of the UK, your postage and packaging changes because obviously it's a lot more expensive to send it. So if you're buying the full collection, your P&P would be $4.95. If you want to throw in a pack of papers as well, you can. That will take it up to $14.95. You don't have to have the perfect papers if that's not what you want. You can chuck something else in, a different set of papers, such as ProPrint or something, but you are going to have to put a note when you make the order because they won't know otherwise. They're very good, but they're not that good. So if you can just pop a little note into the box saying this is what I want, they'll sort it for you. So that is all of that sort of housekeeping side of things done, which is where we need to be in order for us to progress and get to demos. We'll go forward. I just want to make sure I haven't missed any of you lovely, lovely people. Hello, Suzanne, and we've got Charlotte, we've got Lorraine, we've got Yvonne. It says Carla and Taz. What a lovely, gorgeous day it is, isn't it? Received my set yesterday, looking at the lovely demos. It's inspiring, makes it easy. Can't wait to have a go on mine. It is easy, I promise you. Hi Carla, can you show us how you made a pop-up base using the hellebore frame? I might not get time today, I'm afraid, Maxine, but we can certainly do that as a separate demo where we could I could do it in my craft room. We could do one of those. So we will sort it out for you as soon as we can. But today we need to get one more of these manger done, and I'm hoping to do a composition piece today. So let's have a look at the boards. We're going to go through these relatively quickly. What I will say to you is if you want more time on any of these things, please do remember that every show that we've done throughout the whole week is sitting there for you on YouTube, and you can watch that at any time you want. You can access the Carnation Crafts Television Studio channel on YouTube. You do need to subscribe if you want notifications, a little notification bell. You'll get told every time we are going live. If you go into the playlist section of that, rather than just the homepage, there is it all gets bundled up for you so you can see it all together. It's sometimes easier to navigate, so just to let you know that exists. You can also catch us on Facebook on the Carnation Crafts page, and you can also see us on the Carnation Crafts website. So you've got lots of options there for you to find us. If you've got a smart TV and you want to watch it on your actual television set, the best way to do that is through the YouTube app, and you'll be able to see it on the big telly box. So the boards for this, we've got this gorgeous, gorgeous nativity scene here, which I love so much, and this has been just such a massive hit. It is just amazing. Miss Taz, would you like to take me off on that weird screen? That's a very strange thing. Yeah, I can see myself. Was it going through?
I'm trying to get rid of it.
It's very exciting. So anyway, as we're going through, I will just continue to talk about this manger set because it's absolutely beautiful. You've got the main card shape. When it cuts like this. Now, I made a boo-boo earlier in the week because I was trying to think how thick you needed it, and Nick pointed out actually the best way for you to make that is print it on 220 Pro print paper, and obviously it's mirrored vignette. It's got colour on both sides. That would make it 440. If 220 is not something you've got at home and you want it to be stabilised, but you do have 120 Pro print, I'll still stand by what I said. Cut it in 350 and then cut it on your Pro print as you would normally and stick the two together. That's going to give you more stability. It will not handle standing up on a lightweight card. It just won't. Hello, Tanya. Your cute animals arrived this morning. They're so gorgeous. Hello, Sue. How you doing? And then we have got Carol. Good morning, Carol. Can't get enough of these shows. Mad crafter. We're all mad crafters. It helps to be mad when you're a crafter, I think. So you've got all of your beautiful little lambs here. You've got the build-up of all of those shapes where we've got this overlay that sits here with the walls. Then you've got the gorgeous little decoupage pieces that really make it pop. You've got your hay bales, all of the extra bits that you need in order to create that nativity scene, which I love, love, love. You have to excuse the state of my desk. As all of you know, if you watch regularly, Friday is my messy desk day. It's when I get all of the little bits and bats out. We've got your characters here, your nativity characters. So you've got Mary, you've got Joseph, you've got the baby Jesus, you have got the shepherd with his crook, and you've got one of the wise men there. We also have the little lamp decoupage piece, the crown decoupage, and the extra decoupage for the baby blanket here. So it really pops when you're making those cards, and you'll see it as we're going through demo, just how insanely awesome just those two are. Just those two. They are incredible, but we've got so many boards. This collection is insanely big. I think it's one of the biggest ones I've worked with. We've got the hellebore frame. Remember, they gave us extra colorways for those this morning. If you've just joined us and you're slightly late, you might have missed it. We've got 3 extra colorways for your hellebore frame this morning. They are free. You are able to go and download them now. It's going to give you an enormous scope for your crafting, and it's going to make all of the difference. So it's there to it. It says, so I've got Wendy, can I ask about the free hellebore download that I notified about in an email? There's no button to add to the basket. Sorry if you already answered this. Wendy, I haven't. If there is an issue with that, Carnation will certainly be on with it. I know it was only added to the website this morning because I got a hurried phone call. So it could be that they're just sorting that now. So hopefully you won't have problems with it for long, Wendy, and it will be resolved. So keep trying, just keep refreshing the page. If refreshing the page doesn't work, then it's always best to actually shut it down and then go back into it so it completely reboots, and that should help. And that's if it's on there. If not, they'll be working on it now. So just so you know. Then we have got the, I love these. I love these. Wait. Right. You've got your 3D background. So you've got the you've got the beautiful, beautiful snowflake one, and then you've got the holly, and they're so pretty. And actually this time I have got some next to me so I can ruin my own pieces rather than the boards, which I think Carnation would prefer. I cut this obviously in the gold, and look how pretty it is in that gold mirror. I've got some in white somewhere which you'll be able to see better, it won't be so shiny. Anyway, we won't worry about it too much, but basically when you've got these, you just poke those snowflakes through from the other side, can you see? And everything lifts and raises. So we can create gradients. You could just raise the top buttons and it would be flat at the bottom. You could, you know, do all different things with these. They're so pretty. Now, what I wanted to show you is that the one with the holly is slightly different. It doesn't have a cut point at the top, so it's not going to stand completely proud, but let me show you. I love this. So you get hold of it in each hand and just wave it. So it releases those hollies as you're going through. Just roll it. You'll hear it cracking and they all start to stand proud. Okay, so it's just a case of manipulating it. You don't need to go in with your pokey on each and every one. It'll sort itself out as you roll it through. Really, really pretty, and they raise up. Now what you could do on those is put a tiny piece of foam on the back of each of those holly pieces. As you wouldn't want thick foam. It would need to be, I would say, 3mm max. But as you then push down the frame and glue it, they will sort of rise slightly up. So don't put it too thick. That's what I would do if it was me. Okay, then we're going to go on from there. We've got these gorgeous, gorgeous Scandi trees, which are called All Shapes and Sizes. That's the name of the die for them. Look how gorgeous they are. They're so pretty, and they're, again, really diverse. You've got that, you know, dynamic space for it. So that's the original colorway that we've got there. But then you can cut it in gold, and you can cut it out of those beautiful perfect papers. So we've got loads of options here. They all come together. They're always going to look amazing anyway. They look amazing in white too, but certainly those perfect papers that we've got on the show that always match. Those of you who are Carnation mad, you all know about the perfect papers anyway, but they cut beautifully in that. Again, I put it through the machine twice because I doubled mine up so it was double-sided. You don't have to. Then you've got the beautiful, beautiful robins. I love these. Look at his little face. He's just so handsome. I love the robins. They're so sweet. So you've got these gorgeous elements that we're bringing together. Now, these are obviously your family dies. These, in and of themselves, will make Christmas cards. So take this outside die here. Cut it twice on one of them, score it along. I would go to just where that beak line is there. That's where I would be scoring. That's the score is going to be on the back of the card. You're going to keep the original one sort of clean, if you like. Put them together to create your tent base. Pop your vignette on top of it, and then just add a sentiment. You've got Christmas cards made. You don't have to do anything else. That's how easy Carnation is. That's how amazing Carnation is, and that's why we love them so much. Then we're going to go from there. Beautiful foxes. Look at those. The little faces. All of these have been demoed during the week, so please remember you can go back and you can re-watch and you can redo. They'll all be there for your access. Again, each one has its own matte layer, so you can create cards from each of those. I mean, he would just be ridiculously cute as a little card or a little tag for a Christmas present, with especially if you've got the Santa hat die to put them on to make little tags. You've got your gorgeous stags here. I love these so much. You've got your 4 stags. So it's kind of the idea of having the mummy, the daddy and the 2 littlies in each family. So they all come together in the same way. These work with the manger shape just as well as the nativity characters. You can use either. They work absolutely beautifully. Then we have got your gorgeous little townscape here. It's Christmas Town, it's called. You've got the 2 little trees. These look super cute behind the windows. You've got your houses, that beautiful, beautiful big star, and that is gorgeous just as a star in the sky, but also in the manger when we're putting it on top of that card shape in the centerpiece here. That star looks amazing hanging down. It's really pretty, so certainly go to town with that one. The beautiful sentiments, stunning sentiments with their own matte layer. So if you're not keen on having it without a layer behind it, or if you want to somehow change the dynamic of that sort of the colour scope. So if you've got it on, say, a pink background, but you'd like that to really stand out, cut the matte layer in white and pop it on a piece of foam tape, raise it up. You're going to get a massive bang there when you see that. It's going to look beautiful. So we've got Merry Christmas and From Our Family to Yours. Chris Wells, Wes, thank you. You are telling me the add button is now on the website. Thank you for that information. Then we've got the 3 presents here. Again, not just for Christmas. These can be used absolutely throughout the year, birthdays, everything else. We were saying yesterday there's very little in this whole collection that can only be used on Christmas cards. The majority of it, the vast majority of it, you're going to be able to use all year round, and I really like that about it because it's important. And then I've been cutting some of these again this morning, some of my absolute favourites from this collection. They're just so vibrant, so bright. What I will say as well is what Nick's done on these, and you'll discover it when you get home. I'm just going to grab this. He's made it easy. So things like the 2 little ferns that you've got here, that's actually 1 die. So basically it'll cut 2 out at once. We're not sitting there for hours and hours and hours. The same as the little roses that you see here. They are all part of 1 die with the 3 poinsettia. I can never pronounce her. Along with those 3, that's all 1 die. So it's not going to take you forever and a day to cut them out, which is important because what do we want to do more than cut them out? We want to craft with them. So that is the family Christmas collection, and it is absolutely beautiful and stunning. I'm not going to particularly go through too many finished samples because I do want to crack on with demos. I hope that's okay with everybody. If we've got time, we will. What I want to talk to you about first, which is something that we have been having discussions about, for those who are new starters, and there are lots of you. When you download the vignettes off the website, again, that's www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. When you open the PDF, which has got all of the vignettes on for this full collection, I can't remember how many pages there are, but generally speaking, it'll go page 1. This isn't going to be page 1, but you understand where I'm coming from. Page 1 would be this. Page 2 would be this. And it'll keep going like that through all the vignettes. So you'll have page 1, page 2, and the only difference between them will be your black line as a general rule. Why do we have that black line? Well, it's because it is what's called a mirrored vignette. Now, if you want to cut out these individually, as you would, and as you're probably familiar with, in the same way you would do for other companies, all you do is put your die on top of it, and you pop it through your machine, and you'll get a single-sided vignette as you would normally have. So it'll be white on one side, and then you'll have the tree on the other, and that's absolutely fine. And a lot of people like to do it that way. Try and print on Pro Print if you can. It's going to make all the difference. However, for someone like me who much prefers the mirrored vignettes, this is what you get. This is how it's printed. And so what we're going to do with this is we're going to take it. Actually, I'll do it the proper way. I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I'm probably not supposed to be honest, but I'm going to be honest with you. I never do this trick. It is there for your convenience. I just fold it on the black line, but we are supposed to tell you the right way, so I will. Take a pair of scissors, and let me get my glasses on because I'm going to miss the line.
You told me the cheat way.
Did I tell you the what? Cheat way. What you're going to do is just cut a snip along that line on both sides, okay? Just a little snip, that's all you're going to do. And those snip marks are going to guide your fold, because it has to be on the black line. It cannot be just the centre of the page, okay? So that's just going to help you out. I'm going to be totally honest, when I'm doing my own, I genuinely never do that. I just fold it. You do you. That's the proper way of doing it. See, I do listen sometimes. Once you've got your sheet like this, you're going to put some spray glue on the inside on one page. Make sure you do that in a bin. Make sure you do it in a well-ventilated room, preferably outside if you can, or into a cardboard box. The glue goes everywhere. So just a little bit of spray glue, put it together so it seals, and then pop your die on that. Put it through your machine, and you will get a mirrored vignette. And what that means is it will come out looking like this. So you've got it, you know, an image on the front, but then we can turn it round and that image is the same on the back. The reason that's important, not so much with the trees obviously, because they can be either way, but for instance, if I take my lovely shepherd here, because I've cut him in a mirrored vignette, if I wanted him to face the opposite direction, normally speaking, that's just not an option. Your die is your die is your die. But because I can do it, I can turn it around and I can have him on the opposite side. So I've got more room to play with my crafting, which I like a lot. So I always do mirrored vignettes. You don't have to. A lot of people I've seen in discussions, they tend to do sort of single-sided vignettes for their background pieces and then mirrored for their front pieces. We all craft differently and absolutely find what's the most comfortable for you. Demo, my favourite piece. So we cut out this manger shape and we cut it twice. So you can see I've got mine here. I did obviously prep mine beforehand, so I've got my red liner tape on my 3 tabs and I've got my red liner tape on all of these tabs that I'm going to use to house those characters. But what I've also done, doesn't matter whether you do it back or front, but either way, you can see I've put red liner tape on. And the reason I wanted to show you this one is because in the other demos that I've done, I've put masking tape over the top. Not all of you will have masking tape, but most of us have red liner tape. So I just wanted to be able to show you that the way I do it then is to make sure that that is covered with that tape and I leave the backing on. I'm going to say a caveat on here as well and just say that's not your most secure way of doing it. But I did want to show you that it can be done that way. I would suggest you put some tape over the top. The reason being is, as we all know, the back of red liner tape has got the most bizarre talent of escaping. But once we put them on and we fed them all the way around, they light up beautifully. These are tiny lights. They are available on the Carnation Crafts website. You get 4 sets of lights in there, so you've got 4 cards that you can go out with that. You get 2 that have got 8 lights on, 2 that have got 16 lights on, and you get all of the batteries to feed those lights as well in that one box. So you're getting the whole lot. Obviously the batteries can be changed, so if you're making something that's going to sort of go down in generations, because this is obviously a full nativity scene, then the batteries can be changed and you can keep them going for years and years, which I love, 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 love. So I've got this done here. On the front panel, I've got my little bit of red liner tape here. I'm just going to take these off. I'm going to leave the side ones on, so I'm only taking the top tab off first. I'm going to make sure I've got that the right way round, and I'm just going to place this, we'll place it on the top here. Just put those 2 tabs together. So now I've got it as one main card shape. You'd need a whacking great big die machine to put that in as one card shape, wouldn't we? So that is that piece there. So the other thing that I will say is when you cut the first 2, they're both going to have this panel on it here, this little piece. Both of them are going to have that. One of them, cut it off. So you only need this panel on the front piece, and the reason we need it on the front piece is because the mechanism for it is at the back. That mechanism is a simple fold of papers. So there's 4 little legs. Can you see them? Those 4 little legs just get folded over, and they are then going to sit. It won't quite work because I haven't done the sides yet, but I do want to just show you it while it's standing. That platform goes through, and you can see we can just poke those legs. All you need to do is do 1 in and 1 out, and it causes like a pincer movement over the top of that, and it will hold itself together. If you are making this for your own home, absolutely put some tape on there, and you know it'll hold it together in one piece. But if you're posting it out, you need it to be flat, so we don't put any tape on it, then we can just raise it once it's done. So that's just for your knowledge, and that's how the mechanism is going to work. Right, I need to build the card up, so I've got my beautiful archway here. Remember, if you want to, oh, it could have been very dangerous then. If you want to, you can use this archway with other things and other themes through Carnation Crafts. This obviously, the minute I put this on, it looks like a stable, right? It's got that kind of feel to it. But it could be a wedding arch. If I was to just place loads of florals around here, it could be absolutely a wedding arch. And we know we've had those fairy tale characters that would work beautifully as well. They just need to not be so tall that they can't fit through the ceiling, so you're just making sure you've got your heights. I really want to do autumn leaves going around it and use the colour of autumn, because I think those little characters with the puddles behind would just be absolutely stunning on this piece. Loads of ways to do with it. What I would say is, for me, if I was doing it, I would want to keep the two wall panels, so I would cut those separately, potentially cutting it sort of down here, and then I would hide these two pieces and potentially just get rid of that hay at the top. So I would still use this element, but I might just get rid of that inside. So don't think that this is just a Christmas piece. It absolutely isn't. I'm going to go from there and get this red liner off. I won't take all of it off because we're obviously just in demo mode. I would advise when you're at home that you do take all of yours off. So I just take this, pull that along, and then we're just going to go in. You'll notice I haven't done the side tabs yet. I like to do those nearer to the end where I can. It's up to you what you do. It's just I find it's a bit more forgiving if they're not stuck together, but it doesn't really matter. It's just I personally find it a bit more forgiving if it's not stuck. That's how you're putting this card shape together. What then happens is you've got these panels here, and what we're going to do is fold that one back there at that bend, and then you can see here it's a stepper, so I'm going to pull this one forward. When I turn that round, you can see it's that Z shape, right? So it's folding back in on itself, and that means it is your stepper card. June says, morning Carla and everyone. I got my set yesterday. Oh, they are amazing. These YouTubes are invaluable. Thank you so much. Do you know what, June? Having our own studio has made so much difference, because we can bring you the content that actually we, through research and you know, other things that we believe that you want as crafters. So it's given us a bit more scope to be able to provide more in-depth tutorials and do those kind of things to make it easier for you guys at home when you get these home. And I think that's important. It's your products, you know, and the channel theoretically should be your channel, and that's kind of where we're going with it. As we go along, you'll see more and more as we're working on new things to do with the channel. So I'm going to pull these forward like so, but what I've done, now that I've done that, I'm going to lay them flat again. I just wanted to show you the shape. I'm going to work with mine on the up, if you like. I want to work with them this way. Make sure you've got that the right way, so your front panel is going to work backwards. And all I've done is put a bit of red liner tape on there, ready for whatever I'm going to put on it. I know that I'm always going to work with the first 3 tabs regardless. Those 3 tabs are always going to have something on for me. It doesn't matter if I don't use the back tabs, even though I've got red liner tape on them, because they're hidden by the front ones. If you're uncomfortable with that, obviously don't do it until you're ready for them. I don't mind, because it's not really going to be seen, and I'm okay with that. But what I've done here is those hay bales, I've put a load of them together, and it's going to create a larger background piece for me. I can have it either way depending what I want, but it's going to cover up some of that extra space that's on the back. So I'm going to put that one down first, and I'm going to put it right at the back, because it's not really there to be seen, it's there to fill a space. So what we do, always make sure that's forward, make sure you've got that seated to the ground before you stick it. Once you're happy with it, push it, and that is where it's going to go, okay? So that's going to sit proud, and it's going to sit forward. When you're posting them, they all sit flat. So all the recipient needs to do is just push them forward, and they will have the full manger set for them. Let's see what else I'm playing with here. We have got Mary. I just need to make sure I can find Joseph. There he is. I thought you might have gone for a bit of a walkabout, but you haven't. It's fine. And then I've got some extra bits and bats. So we'll play with all the pieces that we've got. I've got extra florals if I need them. Mary and Joseph. I could put Mary and Joseph separate. I could do them on separate little panels, one at the back, one at the front. But I really like the idea of proud parents just sitting and looking in that manger. It's a really sweet way of working. When you've decoupaged up that lamp, you can actually sort of put Mary up to it, and they sit beautifully shoulder to shoulder. I love that idea of this. It's family Christmas, isn't it? I love that. I think it's so pretty. So I'm just going to get some wet glue. This is my Carnation Every Day PVA, and then I'm using some of those applicators here as well. Obviously I'm using the right day of glue today, because I never don't. It's absolutely Monday today and no one can tell me any different. And so I'm just going to pop some glue on the back of Mary's knee here. Just a smidge, you don't need too much. Push her up to that lamp and keep the bottom, we're aligning that bottom edge together because I need that tab to hold them up. So that's the way I'm working it. And I'm going to put them on these two back pieces. So I'm going to hopefully be able to use both. I can, which is perfect. So I'll just take those from there, she says, pull them up. So we're always working with them extended upwards because you need to put these down onto the floor, onto the base if you like, and push them back onto them. It just means you know you've got them straight and you know that you've got them edge to edge. So I'm just doing that way. And then I've got my little baby here and I've decoupaged up that blanket so it pops. And I've done mine with 3. So what I did, I used the decoupage element and I decoupaged up at the back. And then I cut it and decoupaged the top piece as well. So you can see I've got a triple layer here. So it really pops forward. Obviously, this is the star of the show. And we want to make sure of that. I'm just going to pop that there. Now the reason I put the red liner tape at the very tops of the tabs and not at the bottom, if I push this one down you can just see still part of that tab, and if I'd have had red liner tape over the whole of that tab it would be sticky underneath here, which isn't essentially a problem, but if I try and put that in an envelope it's going to stick to the envelope and we don't want that to happen. So we're just going to place that forward there. And then I'm going to go in here and I will place, what shall I put there? I think I might, no, let me find my little lammies. Let me find my little lambs. I might have some in here. Yes. So when I am working on Carnation demos, when I am making cards for Carnation or for friends with Carnation, I just have bags of stuff. Can you see all this? I know there's probably a more organised way of crafting, but I've just got a ton of stuff in bags that I just keep, and it means I can, you know, always grab something that I need when I'm going through. I'm just going to take off some of my liner tape here. Remember, they've got to be standing up when you put those characters on. If I lay it flat, I'm not going to know that I've got it in the right place. So we're just going to go in here with a little lammy. In here with a little lamb. I love those little lambs. They are beyond sweet. I'm just going to put those there. And then somewhere I've got my beautiful church, and all I've done is put some foam tape just on the bottom so I can place it and raise it. So I'm going to do that. And that's going to go on those side pieces. Now, when you're placing on the side pieces, because I'm working flat, I know that this piece, this little gradient piece, is going to sit inside the card. It's the stepper card. So this is your starting point for gluing things on. That last piece of lattice there, that is the start point for gluing things on. So we're not going over that line. What I'm going to do is just raise it, just so it doesn't get attached to the other pieces, and just make sure that that is where I want it to be. So I've got my beautiful church standing there. On the other side, I'm going to put some of those beautiful trees that I am so completely in love with. And I've stuck 2 together. Same thing again, I'm going to lift this and raise it, put my tree there. So, as weird as that looks now, it will work when I put my tabs down, which I'm going to do in a second. But I'm just going to sort out my wise man and my shepherd before I go any further, and then I will go from there. So I'm going to put my shepherd, a little bit of glue, I'm going to stand him here. Just glue at the bottom there. You could shape all of these out if you had time with a ball tool. Always a good way to go. Same again for the wise man. The shepherd doesn't come with the crock in his hand. He is glued. I've glued it on, but you can see where I don't know if you can see really, but I've just snipped the thumb so it looks like he's actually holding it, which I think is super lovely. It's just that detailing, isn't it, that Carnation gives us. From there, I'm going to turn this over and I'm just going to release my tabs from that red liner tape, and I'm going to put the tabs together and make sure my card is doing what I need it to do. So we're just pushing those tabs down, keep it away from anything that's in front of it because you don't obviously want it to interfere or stick in a place that it shouldn't. I'm just going to place those tabs together. Same again on this side, she says. Push them in so that you've got that beautiful stepper motion. Now, when I turn it round, I'm going to have to stand it up, so I do apologise. But I can push my stepper piece in because it's scored, and I can just push to make sure that still a seal as such remains where it is. Just stick my Christmas tree back on because it's come loose, Miss Taz. And then I'm going to place that and just make sure it's all sealed where I want it to be. And that gives me my perfect manger shape. So we've come together, we're making this shape. So first things first, how do we get the back where we need it to be? I think you'll have the best visual there, so I'll try from that angle. I've got these two that I'm pushing down. Remember I said that pinch movement, sorry. So you want one in, can you see that? One in, one out. Doesn't matter which really, but we're scissoring it almost. So you've got one tab on the inside, one tab on the outside, and you're pinching those. That's giving you that motion where it stands. So you've got that perfect mechanism there. So one in, one out, and that's going to create your platform. Everything else then gets pushed forward, all of your little elements, to create that incredible nativity scene. Now I haven't finished decorating mine yet, so I'm going to add some extra elements. What I'm going to do is turn it round so you can see, and I'm going to do it backwards, and I'm going to do it on the monitor. So if this goes haywire, you know why. So I've got two of my little lambs now. I decoupaged them up. I don't know if you can just see, I've got some foam tape on the inside there, and I'm just going to place him. He should probably be with the shepherd, right? Unless it's like my cat, Miss Phyllis, and then she would be with anyone possible, and the lamb might have gone to the wise man. But we'll put him with the shepherd, so bear with me because I just need to lean over and just see where I'm going. So we'll just pop him here. Look at him, Sim, with his, look, they're so cute. And then we need some decoration on the top. So I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to pin central. I'm doing this absolutely back to front because my monitor is back to front, so I do apologise. But there you go, you have got the most incredible nativity scene, this incredible, beautiful manger. It's so clever. Like the ridiculous talent of Nick, the creative director, and his team when he starts to raise and bring all of these things together is just astounding, isn't it? Like, what an incredible way to make Christmas cards. Completely different from anything else that I've ever seen. And that is testament to the skill of the people in the office. They are fantastic. So just to reiterate, that main set, the big bundle, everything is 220634 on the Carnation Crafts website. That's $199.99, but you do get a 10% discount by using the code CCF. C10, Charlie Foxtrot Charlie 10. There are different bundles for different price ways on the website. Please go and explore. You can get the set that does not have the nativity range on it at all, so it's not got the manger and it's not got the nativity characters. That's $159.99, and that's 220601. There is a bundle that's just got all of the animals on there, and that is 220602. demo, that's $49.99. And finally, you can get just the Nativity collection, which is the main card shape, and those shepherds and all the extra characters that you get there. That's $59.99, and that's got a free UK P&P. Everything with Carnation, if you spend £50 or over in the UK, it is free P&P, so that's why you get free on that. So, Miss Tiztaz, have I got time? Have I got time very quickly for one more demo?
Of course.
We'll do a speed demo. Now, because this is going to be hilarious, I think, because when I do comp days on Fridays, I never plan a demo. I just get all my bits and pieces together, bring it up, and we craft, right? Now, I'm not going to have huge amounts of time because I've just done the manger for you. So this is going to be speed comp. So I have no idea what this is going to turn out like. So let's just play. Let's go for it. What I've got is, first of all, what I did do is cut an 8x8, and I've created that card base, and I did cut a piece of that gorgeous, gorgeous satin gold that comes in that pack of 3 different types of gold cardstock from the Carnation website. Now, somewhere in here, we're hoping and praying I've got some foam tape. So I'm just going to use some of this just to create my base. I'm not going to go to town on this, so I will be, no doubt, not doing what I normally do. Otherwise, you're not going to get enough of a demo. So I would be doing this very slowly, making sure I've got all of the elements that I need, and that's what I would advise you to do at home, but let's speed it up. Right, we're going to go for this. Try not to chop your finger off with the scissors, Carla. It usually helps. Let's take these off. And I'm just going to place this on. Now, as I say, I'm speed crafting. I'm also looking from over the top, so I can't actually see whether I'm straight. So we're just going to guess work that one. Okay, so we've got our first mat down. What I wanted to show you then is how that gold card, which is incredible, works with those different, look at that. That's spectacular. That's my favourite. However, we can also go in then with the pink and the gold. Beautiful as well. I think personally the richer colours with the gold. I think the darker colours go so well with that gold in this particular pack of perfect papers, but you can obviously mat and layer, so you could put the 2 on, but certainly the ones next to it, look at that. All of them work, don't they? All of them are amazing. I'm going to stick with the green because it's my favourite, and there's no one here to tell me I can't. So I'm going to do that. No, Miss Taz, you can't tell me I can't. And then I'm just going to use a 1mm on here. So I've gone down in foam size from 3mm to 1mm. And I'm just going to pop this on. Always put a piece in the middle. You do need stability when we're shaping out. And because we're adding so much onto a Carnation card, as far as weight is concerned, having that stability in the centre panel is also, you know, even more important. Just going to grab those. We'll do it the proper way. We'll get those tabs so that we can get it as straight as we can. Gives you a slip and slide at the bottom so I can manoeuvre, make sure I get it into place. I think I'm about there. Like I say, I can't see properly at the top of the card, so please, if I do, that's a bit, we're a bit skew with, but we'll cope. If I do, all you're going to see is my head if I lean forward, so I apologise, but we're about there. What I'm going to do is cool those tones. I'm cooling them. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? That coming in of those colours, and it helps, you know. Suddenly I'm not quite so daunted by the blank white piece of card. I've got a frame to work within. I'm taking this up to a 3mm now, so I've gone 3, 1, 3, and that's going to give me some extra oomph. You know I like my chunky cards, and I'm going to place this, create my tabs, and place onto here about so. Look at that, just stunning already. I love Carnation. Look how they choose their papers. This is what sets them apart from other companies. Right, I am going to use some of these trees. Let's see which colours I want. I don't think I'm going to use those. simply because it's the same colour as that. I think I'm going to lose them. I think I might go in with the lighter ones. So we'll play. What I'm going to do is overlap, I think. So let's overlap. Little bit of glue. Remember, I am speed comping here, so when you're at home, please do take more time. I've got no idea whether this is going to turn out well or not. But as we say, you can't make a bad card with Carnation, so let's hope that rings true. I'm just going to let that dry. It takes a bit longer on that mirror card. Just remember, you're probably better off actually with red liner or some finger lift on the back of those. If you're using mirror card, it's shiny, isn't it? It doesn't really like wet glue very much. If that doesn't stick, I can go back and change it, so I'm not too worried. So if I've got one that I think I'll go in that direction, let's get some finger lift, finger lift, finger lift. I can never find the ends of these. Put your glasses on, Carla. Put your glasses on. Just a little bit. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered about them sticking all the way up from bottom to top. That's not an issue. I just need them to stick. So I can just put a little bit, and that's not a problem at all. I'm going to take from that. I'm going to mirror that out as such. And then I'm going to take some that are a bit smaller, and let's see, what do I think? Do I like that? Yes, yes, we like it. So on this one though, I'm going to use some 3mm. And that is because I want to create the height in front of it so it doesn't sort of merge and disappear. So I've got the back of the vignette, place, pull, and go to it. And I'm just going to layer them, align them at the bottom, and place that up. So I've got that shadow play underneath. That gives me that scope. It gives me that sort of shaping out. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm using, again, 3mm. Pull and stick. Don't know if I need any more than that. Let's use it as a frame. What I can do, I don't know if it's going to be too much, so I'm not promising I'm sticking with this. I'm just playing, is create a panel of gold. I think the gold might be too much. I'm thinking it's too much. I think I don't like it that bold. So let me see if I've got, that could be actually the frame for t'other. Just let's have a look. I think that's the frame for my, what's it? Snowflake one. Let's have a look. Yes, it's perfect. Let's pretend it's not. Let's pop this one on it just to save you some time. I'm only giving you an idea of what I'm playing with anyway, but you know to use the right frame with the right piece. But let's just get this on quickly to create a panel at the bottom. Why do we create panels at the bottom? Do you know, Miss Taz?
Grounding.
Grounding device, perfect. So this is all about your trees not floating in mid-air because it doesn't look great, is the answer. Now, actually, I tell you what I could do. Do I want the gold? I quite like the gold. I got to tell you, I quite like the gold. I was gonna ditch the gold, Miss Taz, but I'm not. I like it. So let me get this off. I am hopeless with finger lift tape. Honestly, if it doesn't work, I'm going to swap it for foam tape. It doesn't help because my nails are so rubbish and they keep pinging off. So I apologise to you all at home. So obviously this is the wrong frame. We all know that. We're all aware of it. I would be absolutely using the right frame, just so you know, but I don't have one cut in gold and I like the gold. So just bear with. Use your imaginations. It'll be fine. So we're just going to place that there. I am going to use a 1mm on this. I don't need to raise it too much, but I also don't want it flat to the panel. I want to have some build on it just to give it that little bit of extra boom. Aren't those trees beautiful? Sorry, I got distracted. Take this off. And I'm just going to build at the bottom here. It's just a little bit of colour placement. Please do remember to use the right panel at the bottom, the right background. I don't actually dislike it having that weird shape, because it's going to look like a snowy floor. It's going to give it the idea of that kind of uneven kilter. So I don't hate it, but I would say, you know, obviously use the correct one. I'm going to put on 3mm. I'm raising. I want those trees to have height. Take these off. I'm going to go in. I'm going to base out some symmetry by putting it right on the edge of either side. Let's put it about there. Already it's starting to come together, so I'm already not displeased, shall we say. All right, let's have a look. We've got this, and I've got 1 or 2. There we go. Take 2 of these. I would be shaping all of these out, by the way. We don't have time. But I would be using my ball tool on all of these. I would be puffing everything out. But I'm not going to have the time to do that. So I'm going to go in, get these pops of colour. And I'm going to start shaping out this bottom panel. And just gluing down the bottom edge of this. About central to the corner, I'm going up. And the same again on this one. Shall I do it mirrored? Yeah. So I'm using the other side. This is where your mirrored vignettes come in. Place. Just keep that pushed down there. I'm going to just shape this out around my hand. Get my pin flare. I'm going to be adding more foliage into here, but I need to find my placement. So I'm just going to add pin flare because it gives me all the wiggle room I need. So I'm just going to push this into the center at the bottom. I want that pop of color. I want that brightness that's coming through. And so it's too naked just with those two. This is why I knew I needed to build, and that's what I'm doing here. So I'm putting in some of those greens with that foliage. Pulling those colors in. Little bit of wet glue there. Place them through. See how pretty that is? You see how you get that sweep coming towards those trees? It's incredibly pretty. What we've done is focused our eyes to that center point. And now, no matter what I put in that center point, I've got the sweep of those going up. I've got this that's underneath, and then I've got the trees at either side. I've set a stage for my centerpiece. Now, what I mean by that is, if I go in with, let me have a look. Sorry about all my mess, I do apologise. If I go in with my stag, he's going to look incredible. He's my centre point. He is my centrepiece. If I go in with a fox, I'll use the large one for now. He's going to look incredible. Now the fox is going to work really well. The reason the fox is going to work the best on this is because of the gold. So we're bringing in those colours, aren't we? The heat of the gold is going to reflect the heat of the orange of his fur. So those things are going to come together in a beautiful way. The same again with the robin. You'll get that same effect, that same heat that you'll get in from the gold is going to reflect in the robin's red breast. So you see how we show stop everything. So that center point is always going to be visually strong because we've already shaped everything out to go into it. What I think I'm going to use is the church, because I like the little sweep where it goes above. I like the fact that it's raising off the edge of my card. You know I like an over the edge card. So I think I'm going to do that. What I can do is lift that finger lift and tuck it. So it'll just come down a little bit. So I've got control. So I'm going to use the church. So I'm just going to put some of this here. Little bit of wet glue at the bottom, and then just a little bit on that piece there, just to make sure it sticks down at the top, but not too much. And I'm just going to shape that out. Probably if I had more time, I would have put the little Christmas trees behind, but we're just okay with that as it stands at the minute. Right, from there, I just want to touch more colour. So I'm just going to take my wee little rosebuds here because I think they're super pretty. And I love them very, very much. And if I can get hold of them, I think I'm just going to add some colour aspect to it. Not much, but a little bit, just a little pop of colour. So just tiny little bit of wet glue on here. Let's push these through, just so you get that little poke, that beautiful little poke of colour. Nothing excessive. Just working your way up those trees. That one's going to take longer to stick because it's on the mirror. Remember, whenever you're on mirror, it's going to take longer to stick using wet glue. It's a slippery surface. It does glue, it just takes a little longer. And so just be aware. Because often when I'm doing it, I'll end up knocking something and I don't realise it's come off because it was on the mirror and it just takes a wee bit longer. Make sure you're pressing it down. And it should adhere pretty well. Look how pretty that is, just that rise of colour. You don't need much, that's the point, I think. It's not excessive, we're not trying to blind the card. You've already got colour at the bottom, but it is just a little too plain for me at the top. So that's why I like these colours, just to shift that focus a little bit. Add a little bit more colour. Am I alright for time, Taz? Can I have another couple of minutes? Is that okay? Place these on. I'm nearly done, I promise. And then I'm going to work my way up still. I love these roses so much. I'm really smitten with them. Aren't they really, don't you think they stand out massively, these little buds? There's something really pretty about the colour. So we just create just along those lines there. And all I'm going to do now, and I'm pretty much done, is use a couple of background pieces just to fill in the space because it just feels a little bit random. And I want to just create one final little space filler here. Tuck that behind. So we're finishing off that winter's day. And I'm going to do the same again at the other side because I'm slightly obsessed with symmetry. Place it in. And there you've got something super, super pretty. Really easy to do. No time and thought in it. Obviously the only thing would be that panel. Just make sure you've got the right background piece. Like I say, I don't hate it. As far as getting the wrong one was concerned, I'm not displeased, but I think that is a really beautiful card. That's a really simple comp piece, as in I have got no clue where I started or how I got to the point that I did. Start yourself off with your mats and layers. Make sure you're not giving yourself so much white space to work on your canvas. If it's very, very blank, you'll find it very, very, it can be really intimidating. It can be really daunting. Mats and layers first, always. They're going to give you that guidance. They're going to allow you to set a smaller stage because they reduce the space of the size that you're working with. If you're somebody who finds it a lot easier to work on a smaller space, and lots of people do, but you still want to make big cards, make your mats and layers smaller. So start with an 8x8, make your next mat 7x7, make your next one 6x6. It just gives you the smaller workspace. You'll still got all the impact. It will change the end design, but not negatively. It'll just change it. It's just different. And that's, again, the joy of Carnation. Nothing that you create is ever the same. And I love that. It can be if you want it to be, but generally speaking, everything's different. So you've got this really stunning piece here. And I think it's funny, isn't it? Because throughout all of this, when we've been going through the boards, everybody's eyes has been drawn to the animals, the manger, and those religious aspects. What strikes me the most about this whole collection is actually the ones that we almost pass by, the church, the houses, those things, because the others are so impactful. Actually, they've got all the power that the other ones have. They're all incredible. This whole set is incredible. All the carnation, we all know, I can sing for hours about it, but you can create something really, really pretty, really, really quick with very little thought behind it. You will never make a bad Carnation Crafts card, and that's the power of them. Free angel policy, you can sell anything that you make. Please do go to the website carnationcrafts.co.uk. The number again for this main collection is 220634. The perfect papers that go with it are on the website as well, and you can get those as a matching combination as such. And then you can also go through and get your smaller collections. They are all on the website. There's your perfect papers, 220616. You'll find all the bundles, the smaller bundles on there as well. I will be joining you all again some point soon, but I can't remember the date and times, Miss Taz. I'll be on...
Our anniversary next month.
It's anniversary next month. I'll be on Crate and Craft before then, so but I'll see you really, really soon anyway. As always, have an amazing weekend, enjoy yourselves, please take care, and I will speak to you soon, and of course, Merry Christmas.